welcome back to my channel. This video is about this quilt behind me, but not really. It is about the quilt that I'm actually making, and that behind me is just out of leftovers. So what I did, I cut too many pieces and I decided to make a few more blocks and turn these into this one. I usually do this when I quilt. I make test blocks and turn them into pillows or smaller projects. And I actually finish them before I finish the actual quilt to get a sense of accomplishment while I'm still in the process. So this is done now and I'm incredibly happy about this. So in this video I'm going to show you how this is made. It looks difficult, all the curves and everything, but it's actually not that difficult if you follow a few tricks that I'm going to show you. So come along on my journey and I will show you how I did this. Well, mostly. First I need a piece of paper. And I got my stack of fabric here. So I'm laying this like this. And this one, I'm going to lay it under here. So I'll pre-cut these roughly in shape. And then I have them on top, 3 layers paper and 2 layers of fabric. And I go right here in that corner, go down, back stitch once, and then I go all the way down. Now I fold the paper all the way and go to my cutting mat, use the edge quarter, and then cut off and fold this one here. First press with the finger, just press into the corner, and then use my seam roller, go back to the machine and use the next piece of fabric. And now I can still see where it is up there, and then I peek under here. This is how I do it. And then I use this line, but I imagine it goes further, and start up there. And then I go just into this corner. And backstitch once and cut. And then the same step as before, fold back, go to the cutting mat, cut off the excess, fold, press with the finger, then with the seam roller, and the next piece. And now it gets a little bit tricky because you can't really see what you're doing. You just have to get a feel. Then I peek under there, and then I peek there, and it looks fine. Then I tuck this fabric a little and push it all flat so that this one doesn't have a bow. Then I go into the corner, backstitch once, and then go all the way down. I stopped here, and this time I go all the way down. Okay, fold back again. Do the finger pressing again. Use the seam roller. And go back to the machine. Use next piece of fabric, get a feel for where it's supposed to go, gently push everything in place, and now I imagine the line goes further and I start up there. Back stitching, That way nothing comes apart. And also your stitch length should be 1.6 or lower, so the ripping is easier in the end. The ripping of the paper, that is. The fabric should not ever rip. Okay, so then I'm folding this back again. Seam roller. Rolling. And the next piece. Again, I'm flying blind here. So check. Yeah, it works. Go into the corner. Back stitching. And then all the way down. Again, cut off the excess. Oops. And then one more. Okay, so I put this underneath. Imaginary line again, and go all the way through. And once more, fold back, cut off the excess, fold this back. Okay, and your first piece is done, and repeat. And I'll see you in the next step. The next step is cutting. It would be advisable to have a dedicated blade for this, or to change it afterwards, because this is going to get dull a bit, because we are cutting through paper. So first of all, I use a ruler for the straight edges on the sides. And then for the inner curve, this blade is a bit big, but I don't have a smaller one, so I have this neat little technique where I turn the paper instead of the blade, and I always go rocking a bit. Okay, and the outer curve is a bit easier. Then I go with the blade and leave the paper and the fabric still. So there that is, and then I tear out the paper. I'm starting here on the long side, just pulling straight to the side, and the very end I have to tear carefully, otherwise I get these little pieces stuck. So here I go just to here, and then take the big piece and tuck on that one. Makes it much easier to get this off in one piece. And the big piece is very easy. It usually comes out like this. Then the smaller one again. Before the end, I take the big one, and then I can get this out. The big one goes out like this. And this one is a bit tricky again, but not too tricky. Okay, so finished this. The next step would be to attach. something on the inside and something on the outside. So what you do now is you take this arc that you just cut, and then you take this piece. You fold this like so and put a little bit of a crease in here, just a small one. I don't know if you can see this, but I can. And then I put a dab of glue here and here, making sure to stay within the 1/4 inch seam allowance. And now I fold this over here and put this in the corner, making sure that the edges align. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Just applying some pressure, and then in the middle. And I know that the middle is just left of here. If this didn't have this pattern, I would also mark this one by folding, but I don't have to because I know where the middle is. And then I put this here, apply some pressure, and then I can glue the rest of it. Okay. So first I go from the outside, just a little bit, not pulling, just putting this down on the right spot. And then I go from the other side. And now I pull a little to get this all even. And then just push it down so these parts meet. And when you see on the other side, no peeking, this is perfectly pinned. And then the other side, also some glue. And from here, and push it down. So, and then I have this perfectly pinned. The next step would be sewing, and I'll show you this now. So what I need here is I got my 97D foot and the edge guide, and I put this fabric here. Also I need the stiletto, and what I do is I get the needle down, and then I can either, as I go, kind of make sure that there's no creases, or I can just put the stiletto here, put it just down, and then have it just press it down as I go, which works pretty good. And then you have to make sure that the creases that kind of are here, the puckering, is next to the needle and not on this side, so you don't have any sewn in creases. Okay, so you can go as fast as you feel comfortable, because you got the edge guide and also you got your stiletto. And this is where I start to get a bit slower, because this is where the creases happen, on the very end. Here there would be one. So I tuck this here a bit, and then I continue. Here again, and then I did all that. So cut thread, and then what I want to do after this is I want to iron, and I just press. So first you take your fingers and then just press it open, and then when you take the iron, just press it down. No squishing, just pressing down. And then you have perfect results. As you can see here, the point, perfect. They are all absolutely perfect. And that's just due to starch and the right technique. No special skills needed. Well, practice, I guess. So the next step is a bit more difficult. You need a trick marker and your glue. And I did mark the middle on this piece. And then I'm marking the middle on the big one as well. For some of them, I don't need the marker, but here I can hardly see the crease, so I'm using the marker. And I'm using a bit of glue in the middle and on the corner on this piece. And on this piece, I glue the entire length of the seam that I want to make. And then I put middle to middle, press, and then take one corner and press that together. And then I take the middle and the corner between my fingers, and I have the bigger one facing me, and I stretch this so I can put them together like this. And I always press the glue together. So this one is now pinned. And then I do this on the other side. Press the corner together. Take the middle again. Stretch it all a little so I can have this evenly on top of each other. Press as you go. And this is all a bit bowed. And this is how it's supposed to be. And now this is glued. Excuse the glue on my fingers, I've been doing this before. And then I sew this, and I'm going to sew this, and I'm going to sew this, and I'm going to show this to you on the sewing machine. Good. The bottom part is the smaller one, and then I have the big bow, the big arc is on top. Put it next to the needle. I sew a few stitches in, and then I check. All the creases need to be on this side. Sew a little, then I reorganize. Sew a little, and then I reorganize. This is a bit slow, but it's worth it in the end. Can hardly see anything. Okay. Reorganize and then sew. Okay, done. There is a few things that I didn't mention, and there is blocks that are different. So there is the head of the serpent, which has this piece. There is an eye that you have to put on there. There's different techniques how you can do this. I did cut out the circular shape in the pattern and made a paper piece and sewed this on top, and then I cut out on the back this part and tore out the paper. That's how I did this, and I did top stitch this because I'm lazy. And also there is the belly part here that you need to do, so don't get confused. And in the end there is one block that has not the belly part here, but actually the background part. So don't get that confused. And then there's the last piece, which is kind of like a belly shape on background. So I advise you to make these blocks first, to not assemble everything, and then find out that you made the last block just as the others, as I did. So yeah, that's just a tip. And then you assemble the blocks like you would assemble blocks, and I did not show you this because that's boring. And then I bound it, and I'm done. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this, please consider subscribing, give me a thumbs up, comment down below, tell everyone you know that this video exists, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, until next time, see you, bye bye. Okay, there is a fly. Yeah, this looks sexy. I do talk fast. Yeah. Also, it's very hot in here. Well. Yeah, no. Totally not scripted. Okay, hi. Yeah, come along, have fun.